Okay, now we're good.
Maybe.
We're on? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of the Palmyra-Eagle Area School District School Board to order at 7 o'clock. Can we have the roll call?
Tara Leroy.
Here.
Michael Eddy.
Here.
Zach Bukowski. Here. Doris Parsons.
Here.
Jean Green.
Here.
Nancy Roszewski.
Here.
Christiana Williams.
Here. We have everyone here. I'd like to read the district mission statement. To ensure that students excel with intellect and virtue, inspired by innovative educators who engage and challenge each individual. Would you all join me for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
Second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved as printed. Okay, are there any public comments live from the field? If not, we have one that was sent in. Oh, you did have one?
Well, I sent one in, but I didn't know if I should. I just sent you the private message, so I didn't know if it's going
Is that the one that you had printed off? I just have one, but it's from Katie.
to. Okay.
Is
Should
that the same one?
No.
No.
Maybe it's not different.
Okay. I have one from Katie Robertson, and it says, please wish high school, middle school administrator Carrie Tim a very happy and wonderful birthday. It's tomorrow. Carrie, and hope she has a great birthday.
There you go.
Sincerely, Katie, Kaylee, and Joel.
There you go. My birthday's tomorrow.
Thank you for that.
How old are you?
I'll be 44.
Amy, did you have one?
Would you like me to? I can talk about it. That would be fine. About what I sent in.
Sure, I know what
Do I
it is.
need to come on? I do. Okay, good. I'll just stand here then. Just through the interview process the last couple of weeks with teachers coming in and interviewing, I noticed kind of a trend in even talking to people like at Palmyra days and things like that, that there's a lot of still confusion about what's going on. And I mean, I know that's going to be out there. I totally understand that. But I just felt one of the questions that was asked by a couple of the teaching candidates was like, so what happened with Palmyra Elementary? Okay, then we said, well, we closed the elementary. Well, where do those kids go to school now? Like, well, where, there was just seemed to be a lot of confusion. And I just feel like because it says Eagle Elementary, it seems like it's not part of Palmyra-Eagle. Like there was a lot of confusion, like, so where do the kids from Eagle go to high school then? They go to Palmyra-Eagle because that's our district. But I just wondered if, I know the name change was, I don't know if it's a money issue or whatever, or just a big issue that way, but I just feel like I'm wondering if changing the name of Eagle Elementary to something a little bit more inclusive with our district might help the community understand that it is still part of Palmyra-Eagle. And so I guess some thoughts for Panthers. I think we talked about Palmyra-Eagle Elementary, but then that says P, so you don't want to do that. You don't have to do that, but so just a thought about that. Would that be something that's in the consideration to come forward?
Thank you for that. Just so you know, it is on the Thursday meeting. We have a PR meeting. It's on the agenda
Okay.
to actually discuss, and I know I emailed you back
Yeah,
about
you did.
that. Yeah, too, because that's totally, it's a good point. It's a good point.
Well, thank you.
And I know why the PE thing isn't.
It's, if you don't abbreviate it, it wouldn't be bad. It was just really weird that the questions we got were like, well, so then where does this go and where do they go? And well, no, they're all still here in our district. It's not, we didn't change that. So I just feel a lot of people might, I mean, I live in Eagle. We have people moving in like crazy. Well, are they gonna think it's still, I just, some way to put us all together
kids from Palmyra.
Right.
You know, just make them feel like the
And I
same.
mean, I feel like everybody did really well this year, there weren't any issues, but yeah, just to make it, yeah, we're all together, so it's good. So
Good
thank
point,
you.
thank you, and yeah, Tara's got it on the PR.
Elementary school.
Elementary school.
EL.
There we go.
I don't know, I went to school in La Crosse, and it was the Gail Ettrick Trempealeau High School was Get High.
Oh, jeez.
I'm serious, it was Get High, and it still is. Please, God.
That's funny.
Whatever. Okay, well, we're digressing. Thank you.
Thank you.
We do not have board monitoring tonight unless anything has come up. Committee reports, public relations, Tara.
That, we met on June 17th. And not too much going on now that school was out. I think our PR coordinator had been really busy wrapping up the last month of school and had tons of stuff to do there. You know, she talked about things she's been working on over the summer once things quieted down a little bit. One of them is updating our district promotional video, which is quite old at this point, and also updating our staff directory and getting that current. And then we talked about doing some sort of end of the school year / summer newsletter to kind of recap all the great things that happened this year, because there really were a ton of them, and promotion for back to school. And we talked about promoting the open houses, maybe making more community socials, and doing things to get people back in the buildings and geared up for school. That's pretty much about it. Our next meeting is this Thursday.
Thanks, Tara. HR committee, Jean.
We had an update, our agenda items where we have an update on the committee formation for salary structure reviews. Todd is working to form a committee which will include administrative team plus teachers and myself as a board rep. We'll have to create something to help solve several issues. We'll be able to correct and bring folks up to levels over time. It won't be immediate, but some people that are maybe been left behind in salary will be brought up. Given budget constraints, we will not do it, as I just mentioned, all at one time, probably in stages, but we will set a path moving forward. Update on the hiring for strategic roles and strategic plan for the district. Board's involvement in that. Todd said the board should continue to inform the admin team of red flags or issues when candidates are being presented for hire. Need to work with the admin team to get the correct hires. Todd is not a fan of strategic plan, but more of an organizational directional plan. And it's Todd's goal to get fresh eyes into key roles. Also, we discussed the HR handbook. Updates included paybacks if employees leave contract early, such as an HR penalty. Todd's opinion was penalties are difficult to enforce. It could be harmful to our recruiting efforts. It's also hard to get money from folks that don't work for us. And can you ask this? You can ask the disc if they go to, but that's difficult too. And Joanna was, I don't know if she was told, but Joanna was going to start working maybe on highlighting some of the HR updates there. And that's it.
Thanks, Jean. Curriculum policy, Christiana.
We met end of June, since we weren't able to meet last week. We discussed the 4K and 5K transportation discussion. It was really just around basically a caregiver being present for the children getting on and off the bus. The committee kind of talked that maybe that is more of a procedure thing than a policy thing. And Katie was working to get a document off to the bus company for review, and then they were going to bring it back in August for the committee to look at it again. The second thing we looked at was our current policy on the entrance age. So our current policy states that to enter 4K, you must turn 4 on or before September 9th. And this adjustment would allow someone turning 4 before October 1st. So between the September 1st and October 1st date. If they turn 4, they could apply for a waiver, and then they would go through the same process that we already have written out for 5K and first grade waivers. And so we kind of went through and adjusted the policy appropriately, and that got moved to the full board tonight. The administration is still working on the C&I position, and that's about it.
Thank you. Buildings and grounds met tonight, Michael?
Yep. We talked about the bipolar ionization project, which is moving forward. Probably get a more specific update, Rich was out. We talked about the food service program. Todd gave us kind of an update as to what's approved through the federal government versus non-federal government foodstuffs, and some other options. And it looks like Whitewater might be our best option, but we'll know more next month. Capital budget is really slated for October to be approved. We have no more issues with people cutting through PES, so that's kind of fall off our agenda. The EES usage remodel. There's some information that Katie provided regarding work starting around July 26th to be completed before school starts. And the board at different times will actually go over and take a view as to what's going on. We talked about the Focus on Energy Lighting Initiative, which falls into a 2-year ROI. We're going to push that into the board for a decision for next month. We talked about getting our signs refurbished in both the elementary school and the high schools. We decided that based on some of the information provided that we're going to kick this back and look for more quoting opportunities. Part of what our discussion was staffing for the building and grounds area, and it looks like they wanted 1 full-time over 2 part-time. Not sure that the cost came in there, but we had requested for the administration to look for possibly contracting that out and see if there's an opportunity for us to be there. Looking for an update on the summer projects. The gyms were done. It seems like everything, no other hitches going on with that. And then lastly is the discussion around the community room or middle school bathrooms here. We're trying to find out if there were some drawings that were going to be provided. That's yet to be determined. That's really it.
Great, that's good stuff. Thank you, Michael. Finance Committee, Mitzi.
We met tonight at 6 o'clock. We reviewed the minutes from June. We reviewed the vouchers that went through the end of May. We are happy that our reconciliation is current and we have most of our accounts in Skyward so that we can all utilize the same tools rather than some Excel spreadsheets that we didn't have access to. It does make some of our variances look a little different, but that will be cleaned up as our audit is completed, which is ongoing at this time. And there has been an improvement in our accounts receivable that we had addressed over the last month, and our accounts payable look good, so finances are doing well.
Thanks, Mitzi. Administrator reports. Carrie and Katie are both here. Do you have anything building wise?
I have a couple hires, so that'll be good. One of the things on the consent agenda is a leave of absence, so that will create an opening I will need to fill, but hopefully we're moving along in the right direction. Middle school schedules, 7 and 8 are done. 6 are just about done, so that's good, and moving forward with getting everything ready to start, because July is flying by, and I can tell you that.
I second that. July is flying by. So the EES update, regarding teacher resignations, we've only had 3 individuals express they're not coming back next year. And positively, those are only due to retirement or relocation compared to 9 teachers that we had last year. As of the end of June, so before July 1st, we currently have 47 4K kiddos enrolled compared to 23 at that same time last year. And currently only 4 of our current K-4 kiddos have expressed their open enrolling out, and they were what I call non-surprisers because of siblings in neighboring districts. So we're hoping that that number stays very low and solid. We've set our open house for August 26th from 5 to 7. You're all welcome to attend and enjoy the fun. I released my first year principal evaluation to staff at the end of the year. 25 out of 34 staff members took place in the survey anonymously, and I shared the results with Doris. So she has them to share. Summer school went well. We have 2 weeks left and very positive feedback all around. And then August is here. So,
This summer school?
yeah.
Yes.
How's it going? How's summer school going?
Good. We've had no issues. Enrollment still is just shy of 100, and everyone's loving it, and just been a really good time. So.
I've heard some of the classes from kids and some,
Well, and you probably see some, Kendra Larson, I think, has gotten in about 1 million steps because she did hiking every day for 2 weeks for 3 hours a day. And they did trails, they visited locations in the city. So you probably saw her hiking around and getting lots and lots of steps. So things are going good.
Yeah, Katie did a nice job with asking her staff numerous questions about how she did, especially as a first-year administrator in a blended building. She had a lot of nice feedback with, so I'm going to, that's fine, but
Yep.
send that to everyone. It's got nice graphs.
And I shared it with staff as
It's
well, so
very
they could
positive.
see the good, the bad, the ugly, the honest. So, and it was anonymous, so everyone could be honest.
And you know what, when there are things that are less than what you want, that's just how you then improve.
Yep.
So, it was great. All right, thank you.
Can I ask Katie a question? Two questions?
Sure.
On the 4K early entrance policy,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that, would that come from here? Is that your idea?
Well, it stemmed from a family who asked for it, to be honest with you. And Kaylee and I sat down and talked about how, for students who are ready, that month difference really doesn't make a difference. And if that gets more families in early and want to enroll here, then that's something simple we can do that doesn't, upheave a lot of things. So why not? So honestly, the families asked for it.
Okay. And that's kind of what I thought there had to be a reason that it's
Yeah.
off. And so I was curious about that. And then I also was curious about the hunter safety.
Yes, so we are going to be slated for, so this gets a little complicated with COVID because I can't get enough volunteers to do an in-person class. So we're going to be, you'll see something coming out where there'll be the online education offering with a field day for August 21st. That's going to be scheduled here at PEASD. I'm working with Joel to find a room to do it in for the field day hunt and test assessment. So, and our students will be offered first priority for that class. We're hoping to do about 35. Yeah, I just can't get enough people who want to come in across enough days to be able to do it effectively. It's getting tough. So we settled on online and in-person testing.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Katie or Carrie? All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Can we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I'll second.
Any questions or discussion?
I would just like to say how delighted I am that we have a middle school, high school band, real person
Many of
in Spanish. I am so excited about this, as well as all these other wonderful people, but I think that was something we were missing.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Action items. A, consider approval of the credit recovery stipend. We have a motion for that?
make the motion to consider approval of the credit recovery stipend for Carrie Dampier for coursework over the summer.
Is there a second? Any questions or discussion?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to clarify, she's working with 25.
It's about 22 to start. I'll be honest, we've been a little hard on them, and if they weren't logging on despite of them, we kicked them off. So I think she's down to about 17 now.
Still, that's quite
Yeah,
a few.
she's working with a lot of them right now.
And is that normal or is that?
It's
more-
not normal, I'll be honest. It's a combination of a couple things. One, we just didn't end a year ago with credit recovery where we would have. Two, we changed programs and didn't get going like we did. So we did give Carrie a stipend a year ago as well. That's part of the reason that it's not always done, because I don't always need it. Typically, she doesn't need it, but we have some kids who need to get some stuff done. So that's why every year I just, either we do it or we don't do it, so.
And out of those 17, you said that are
I think there's about 17 still working, yeah.
still working.
Yeah.
So does that look like they're gonna get what they needed to
A
get?
few of them have completed and started something else, so it may not be a matter of everybody gets all the way done, but as I told parents, everything they get done is more closer to being where they need to be when they start next year. So yeah, we've had 2 or 3 already complete a course, and then another half a dozen that are getting close and will be done, and then like I said, some have actually started a second course, so. Nice thing about the credit recovery program is Carrie can actually see how long they log on, how many things they do, when they log on, tracks their idle time, and then she communicates every Saturday. Must be her day to do it because she blows them in inbox every Saturday with an email to all the parents telling them what they did this week, how long, what activities, what their percentage is, all of that. So everybody's getting all the info they need about it, so.
Any further questions for Carrie on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Action item B, the parking lot repairs. You got that information in your board packet for the 3 schools and the prices. We have a
I'll
motion.
motion to approve the parking lot repair across the district.
Okay. Any questions or discussion?
I was just curious why, that's done every year, shouldn't that just be in the normal, building and maintenance budget?
It could be. I know this might have been one of those things that Rich felt needed to be.
Just wanted to show the prices.
We all got a park.
Well, yeah, if you don't take care of it, it'll cost.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want
And it's
you
even
don't
a
want flat
drive-by
tires, yeah,
thing.
you don't
You
want
need
flat
to,
tires.
You know, this should be part of the actual budget piece, and we should, right.
I think you talked to Rich about that.
It doesn't hurt, we're all aware of it.
Right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. C, we have a motion.
I make a motion to table, or to table this action item regarding the approval of a full-time custodian position for administrative as opposed to part-time custodian. That should go table feedback, or go back to buildings and grounds.
I don't,
I didn't just.
Or we don't even need a period,
Bring it up.
Table it.
I second
or should we just deny it?
we should turn it, I think the cleanest way is to vote it down. Because tabling needed to occur when we approved the agenda.
No, we can table it now.
Table it, it's on, it's an action item.
Oh, okay.
So if we table it, just pushes it to the next one. Is that what you're saying?
No.
And then it doesn't even have to come back next month.
Yeah, it doesn't have to go
So
anywhere.
we're not even voting.
No, so we have a motion and a second to table it. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that will either come back or, no, like.
It's in building and grounds.
Yeah.
It's more correct.
Okay, D, consider approval of the student academic standards for the school year. We've got a couple different, I think the most recent one that we received did have the right year and the right district administrator on there. So can we have a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the student academic standards for the 21-22 school year.
Second.
Any questions or discussion?
I have a question. So that was approved in August of 2020. Was that right? Do we need to approve a new one again?
Every year by law.
No, but I mean, because it's written as 2020 rather than 2021.
It will be updated.
Oh, was it
It's
updated?
updated.
That as well?
I think in the end, I finally got the right date.
Okay.
I missed one of my 2020. And I never had the version that Christiana then sent to Brad, so I was working on an old version, so I think the last one finally had all the right dates.
Okay, that's, I missed that.
And Caitlin will post that under, there's an annual notices section on the board agenda, so now that it's been approved, she can post that there.
Okay, that's the only question that I had, that I didn't know if we had to revisit it again next month. Okay.
Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. E, special education handbook.
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the special education handbook for the 21-22 school year.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? We've actually had that in our possession for the last couple of months, so I think everybody went through that. All
It's a
those
pretty
in favor
thick
say
one,
aye.
so, yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consider approval of the first read of edits made to the policy that Christiane actually referred to earlier.
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the first read of the edits made to the policy number 5112, entrance age.
Is there a second?
I was having that.
Any questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. G, consider approval of adjustments for registration costs. This was also in our packets, and it's, I think there's a little bit for each building.
Middle school, nothing, no changes.
Nothing changes in middle school, okay. So the high school class,
We want to increase, the class due from $5 to $10. There's an additional course, the sports nutrition one, a change in the band fee. Can you help me out, there's one more.
Yearbook.
the yearbooks.
And yearbook, yep.
Yeah, you highlighted.
Carrie, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
What, I noticed there are no fees for cheer.
Does it say, what's it say on there? Then they're just not on there, that might just, it should be on there. Cheer and dance should be
Well,
on
and I
there.
don't remember paying any fees last year for cheer.
You probably did.
know
I know they exist.
Okay.
I know they exist, they should be on there. They're not on the second column?
I saw dance on there, but I didn't see.
If it's Dan, it probably is
Just the-
together, would be my guess, but I can ask Gigi if it's like one you add twice, or if it's cheer and dance separate, when you add. But yeah, they both should be the same as all others for $65.
Is there a motion to approve